Hey guys, in the last video about Copilot Studio solutions, we created a solution and we looked at the components in a solution and started creating an agent. So once this agent is created, there is, and you know that you have added all the knowledge sources, the topics, and all the required objects, then there is a couple of steps to do before you actually export the agent. So before we jump into this three, four steps here, let's look at the agent that I've created so that you get to know what is in the agent, where they live in the solution, and how we actually could add all the required objects. So this is Agent ALM, which we created in the last video. And as you can see here, I've added a couple of knowledge sources, and I've also added a tool, and I've used an action inside of one of the topics. So let's go through the knowledge. Here you can see that I'm using generative orchestration. This means that the agent chooses the topics based on intent. So it's not classic. It's not in the classic way that you set the workflow. The agent decides based on the best intent. Sorry. Response model is GPT-4o. You can change this in the settings. Quick instructions, and let's look at the knowledge here. You can turn off web search for this, and the knowledge is actually what I've done here is I've added different types of knowledge to show you how this would work. As you can see quickly here, it says Power Platform Connector, and here you have SharePoint and you have a public website. So the reason you see Power Platform Connector on these two, which of course disappeared, is because this is a type of knowledge called unstructured data as a knowledge source in Copilot Studio. So what happens when you upload this type of knowledge from this is done from come on this is done from this part here, which looks like this. Once you decide to upload a document without using SharePoint or OneDrive, you can share it with unauthenticated users or and users who don't have access don't originally have access to the document. So this is an example is this file here, which is a PDF file I've uploaded from my own directory. And here I can choose SharePoint or OneDrive. So once I choose SharePoint here, the file gets uploaded and the Dataverse search is used, and you there is some chunking and the data is vectorized. So this is let's see, I can quickly show you this in let's see, unstructured data. Yes, I've been there before. So this is what happens in the backend. So you upload the file, gets downloaded, indexing happens, you images text is extracted, paginated, chunked, and vector embeddings are created using Azure AI search. And when the user queries the agent, this now semantic indexing is already in place, so the user will get the answer that semantically matches with the query. So this is what happens in Dataverse in the backend. That's just good to know. And of course, there are some limits on this type of data, unstructured data knowledge. So this is for OneDrive. You have 200 files and 32 megabytes per file, and these are the supported type. And one thing to note here, at this time, ALM isn't supported for this feature. So importing agents won't result in automated knowledge source. Same thing for SharePoint. And this is good to note for you who are using this feature in Copilot Studio. And the other feature is uploading files. So let's see, something's not working here. Yes, and what you can see here is that all the status is ready and it's last refreshed now. So once you upload these three files, the process of indexing will happen in the backend, and you will see that there is a rolling processing here. Sometimes it just shows that it's done and then it goes back to processing. Yeah, this happens sometimes. And these two are connected straight to SharePoint. So I don't have any uploading here. I just use this connector to SharePoint as using the graph connector. So this is the one I've used. And this doesn't index the data here. This just accesses the graph connector and uses the graph connector to access the semantic indexing in M365 Copilot. There I have, of course, my blog, which is has some features about governance in Copilot Studio and how to set up the MCP server and different things in there. So what we've done now is we've created an agent with all these different knowledge sources, tools and actions. What you could do is check your connections. So let's see here. In here, you can, as a maker, you can press here and manage connections. So once you manage the connections, you will see all the available connections. You can connect and manage them. So this is just to, whenever you see one of your connections not working, you can look for them here and fix them. And yeah, submit, that's done. Sorry. So this is where you have the connections in Copilot Studio. But let's go back to the solution. So this is the solution we created. Oh, guys, there is 19 agent components in here. And we have two connection references, which also reflect back to, these reflect back to what we have in our agent. So shared office and teams. So these are the two connections we have, and they're of type connection reference. And let's look at our components. You can see most of them are topic, and we do have one important one here, and this is the agent. So once you create this custom solution, you actually need to go in here and advanced, and what you can see here is add required objects. Once you're done with everything in your agent, just add the required objects, and this will add require of the selecting. Of course, this may not detect the required objects reference in custom code. Let's do that. We add the required objects and see what happens. So as you can see here, we added the required objects. We got the website, agent file attachment, how to access. This is here now. We have the website, we have the PDF, we have the teams. This was there already. So we have the knowledge sources now in here. So what we could do here, so I would recommend using environment variables where needed, but just to show you that you can move this now into a new environment, I will not set up a pipeline in this case, but usually if you have managed environments, you need to set up the target environments as pipelines. We'll cover this in a later video, but right now let's just focus on moving this solution to a test environment. So in our solution, if you remember here, we had all the objects. You can just press here and see the objects, the history, the pipelines, and source control if you've connected to Azure DevOps or Git. And for us, it will be more of just, we wouldn't set up the pipelines now because I will do it in a later video. But from here, you can see the overview, which is you can see the environment variables that need to be updated, the columns that are indexed for search. Dataverse search has to be on for you to be able to use the unstructured data knowledge. Of course, this is something you need to also manage and read more about as an admin to just set this up in the best way, because you do have to, the tables that have this need to have the search enable search on, and other things that you should put on there. So I haven't run solution checker, so I will run the solution checker now and wait for the response. Then we can go through it together and export the solution, the Copilot Studio solution, and deploy it to another environment. So once the solution checker is done, you will get a what do I say? You will get a feedback here with the critical, high, and medium severity issues, and also you will get the environment variables that need to be updated. So after this, if you don't have the pipelines in place and you don't have the managed environments in the target environments, just export this. Yeah, important, very important. You also have to publish all changes before you move the solution from the dev environment to the test environment. So let's publish all customizations and move. So now everything is published, and what I will do next is export this. So in the exporting section, the exporting session will actually check if there is some errors, and then you will see this here. You have the versions. Current version is this, and this is the next version. So the version will just continue going up in numbers as you continue exporting. And you can decide to export it as unmanaged to a new developer environment, but here we do it as a managed solution. And I don't need to run the solution checker on export because I just did it some couple of minutes ago. So while this is exporting, let's wait, and we will take it to our new environment, which is the UAT environment. Yes, so now my agent is successfully exported, and I can see the download button here. So I will press on this, and once I've done that, the zip file is here. It's downloaded, and I will have it in my downloads. And what I will do next is I will navigate to my other environment from the production environment to the Dataverse MCP, which is my UAT environment here, and I will import a solution. So I will browse my files, and once this is done, I have my Agent ALM here, and open this, and it's a managed zip file. So it's a managed, of course, solution. Next, it's the processing happens, and if there's some connection references or environment variables, it yeah, this is a problem because I'm importing from a full environment which has more component. So this is let me try another environment, and then we can look at. So now this is processed and everything looks good. Let's just import this. It's loading the connections, and I need to reestablish some of the connections in the solution. So you remember the connection references. This I have to create them here. So I need to sign in and into the apps and create the connections. So green means I'm ready. So let's go import, and this will be imported. So while it's importing, I will keep on waiting, and then we can check the agent later. Since the agent is now successfully important, I can just search in the solutions here. In the managed solutions, I find Agent ALM, and I look into the components of Agents ALM. I see there's a lot of different components. We do have the topics, we have the knowledge, Dataverse, search table, and yeah, that's it. So the agent is now moved to your next environment. You have exported it from the developer environment and imported it as managed. So as you see here, because this topic is managed and non-customizable, you cannot change. If you change things in it, then it will affect how the agent works, but you're not allowed to actually customize in here. So from here, you can publish the agent or share it with the publish it and share it with the people who will be testing it. And now you have created an agent, you have created a solution, included all the in a custom solution, included everything. That means you go to the agent and add all the requirements, and that we did by coming here, Agent ALM, advanced, and add required objects, and that adds all the what do I say, the different attachments and everything in here. And once this is added, then you move it, you export it, and you publish all the customizations. This can be done from here too. So you can publish all customizations from here, and then you export the this. You can also clone it if you want to, but always stay in here and check how your agent is doing. So from my environment here, I have the other environment. I have my agent, and the agent is working with the knowledge sources, and I see everything is as usual. I publish the agent or share the agent with the people that will be using it in the different channels. Remember, the channels don't go through the ALM process, so you do have to share. You have to publish this from, you have to add the channels in here too. So let's see here. Yeah, so the channels are added here, and once the you have the channels, yeah, I'm sharing with all. I don't need to change that, so I can have Teams and Copilot, share the agent, add channel, share agent, and you've moved the agent to your testing environment. If you would have had a production environment, I would use pipelines and have a staged way to move it. So the next we'll cover is pipelines. Stay tuned.